Aquarius, thank you so much for tuning in to the reading, the extended reading. What we have here is some extreme imbalance in the emotional nature of this connection. Highs and lows, deep highs and lows, deep ups and downs. And at the same time, this magnetic pull that keeps you guys coming back together and then separating, coming back together, separating. And this is happening in part because the person who you're watching this reading for has or can be explosive in their reactions and their responses and say and do things that for you have just been almost unforgivable, okay, if not unforgivable. And now they want to come back together, and now you want to come back together too, but you're questioning whether or not that's something that would be in your best interest. You want to know, have they really changed? So let's take a look at that. Let's see what their energy is at this time, what's really at the heart of who they are at this time. Spirit, show us who this person is at this time. What are their true intentions? Have they changed? So we have the thinking man. We have rest and rejuvenation. And we have the heart chakra. Okay. And at the bottom of the deck, we have the deceit card. So this is the devil energy, right? And the devil energy is very much trapped in the material world, the way that the devil thinks, the way that he feels, the way that he believes, right? It's a very low vibe, very low vibe, and not one that's conducive to emotional and spiritual growth. Right? The devil is very much trapped in fear and bondage and insecurity, overindulgence, addictions, whether it's mental or physical or emotional addictions. But it's hard to break subconscious patterns when you're in that energy. But at the same time, we see this person is thinking a lot about who they are, thinking about themselves, being in a space where they can look at themselves. But that is also dependent upon how much time they have to dedicate to this energy, because they're really at a point where they like need to go on vacation to work on themselves. There's so much work required here. They need a break. They need a break to rest and rejuvenate and really deal with the matters of their own heart, right? Because it's their heart that's in need of healing, their heart that is blocked, their heart that has been hardened based on, whatever has happened to them before they entered into this connection. And when they feel hurt, they lash out. When they are at ease and, relaxed and replenished and have room in their hearts and minds to think, then they can respond. But when they're in this energy, all they can do is react, because they feel caged in like a animal. I feel like material concerns are something that also triggers this person. So their material life and how well they're doing at the time can also be a factor. But the thing that gives me hope here is that they do see themselves. They are willing to look at themselves, but it's a matter of them having the space within themselves to do that on a regular basis. And of course, that's not something that you can do for them, right? I feel like the way the energy stands now, and we'll pull some tarot cards to clarify it, but I feel like the way the energy stands now, it's almost like you have to, kind of police yourself and monitor yourself and adjust yourself to suit where this person may be, in terms of their mood and how they're feeling. But let's clarify it and see what's underneath these energies, where they really are, how much of this work has already been done. Is this, you know, because I feel like this is what you've been pondering, you know, whether or not there's been some real change, growth, and development. So there's an awareness of that on their part for sure. They're totally aware of what needs to change. They're totally aware, and they are able to do that when they're in a relaxed state. But how much of the work has been done on managing who they are when they're not so relaxed, when they're stressed? Let's look at the tarot for that. Okay, so we have the High Priestess, which I like. That lets me know that, you know, spiritually there's some awareness, right? But the High Priestess keeps a lot to herself too, so that could mean, you know, bottling things inside. The thinking man sees a lot, knows a lot, but doesn't really say a lot. So keeping things bottled inside is not conducive to stress. So we have the Empress, though. That's a very loving energy. And then we have the Four of Pentacles, which is an energy of resistance and still, you know, trying to control. So I feel like this person is working hard to try and control and manage their triggers, right? And do so from a loving place because they value you. They see you as the Empress, and they see you as someone who's delicate, who's sensitive, who's not used to all of this, you know, anger and racket and fussing and fighting and, you know, stressing and all of that. That's not who you are, and that's part of what draws them to you. And intuitively, they know when, like, when they're getting ready to go off into that devil like energy, that Five of Cups energy, when they're being triggered into their, you know, negative subconscious patterns. And the thing is, it's been happening so much and for so long, it's not even subconscious anymore. It's like they can feel the shift, and it's almost like a werewolf transforming, where they try to stop it, and sometimes they're successful and sometimes they're not. What's underneath that? What are some of the underlying issues that, you know, have just made it so difficult for them to really step outside of this? So, you know, there's that devil again. We have pride and ego, right? Not being able to step outside of that when they feel hurt, when they feel defensive, when they feel like they're being attacked, which I'm getting is quite often, or it's easy for them to feel that way. Forgiveness is also a thing for them, right? They hold on to things. They hold on to grudges. They have a hard time letting things go, particularly in the moment. They continue to harp on things and just keep going over and over and over again. And then they, you know, hold resentment around it. And then that carries on to the next day and the next day. And what else? What else are they still struggling with? You know, and just the ability to persevere. I think this speaks to them in the material world. You know, they see life as being hard and difficult and a struggle and having to survive. And that's really in their programming, their nature. And so they're kind of a hard ass in that respect, where they feel like they have to, you know, really work hard to get ahead, and they have to be tough in order to do that. So let's see. What is Spirit asking this person to really release in order to move beyond this? What do they need to release? What's still in the way that they are holding on to with this energy? Yep. They just got to have a little more fun. They got to just relax a little bit. That was that rest and rejuvenation that came out earlier. And then they have to open themselves up to giving the love that they receive. I feel like this is someone who loves hard, but they hate hard too. And as a result of always feeling like they have to give love, they don't really allow others to support them and love them in the same way. And And then, you know, when they, like this person, they want to please other people, and that might be hard to understand considering how much of a hard ass they might seem to be. But, you know, underneath it all, they really do want to, you know, make other people feel good, and in their minds they put other people first. And that's where it's like this person is like a martyr, like they're, you know, in this like martyr energy. They've succumbed to this belief that, you know, they have to sacrifice themselves. They sacrifice themselves for everyone else, and then end up with the short end of the stick. So those are some, you know, heavy energies that have to be worked through, and it's still very much a work in progress for this person. Let's look at, you know, the nature of the connection though, because I feel like this is really something that, you know, means a lot to you. Otherwise you wouldn't be giving it so much thought energy. So let's look at what the nature of the connection really is and some potential outcomes between you two. Okay, so let's pull another romance angel to look at. Let's just look at the nature of the connection. What really exists between you and this person at the heart of it? How does Spirit see it? Yeah, so it's heavy karmic energy right now in this connection, right? This card talks about someone wearing a false self mask in the relationship. So, you know, at this point, there could just have been, you know, a lot of damage done that, you know, may take some time to really move past. Sometimes we want to forgive someone and jump right back in, and while we can forgive, we may not necessarily just be able to jump right back in. And that's because things, you know, just still are very unclear, right? With the moon energy, this talks about, you know, things living beneath the surface, being hidden. There are a lot of things that, you know, we can't see, and maybe we don't want to see. And I'm really harping on this because, you know, we have the moon card, which is about deception. We have the deception card that actually came up. We have the 9 of Swords. We have the 5 of Cups, which came out twice. We have the Pride card. So we have a lot of cards that came out about deception and illusion. And so, you know, I think Spirit is, you know, cautioning you to get to the heart of the matter and let things unfold before you make any decisions. So if that's where you are right now, then you're in the right place, right? This person, as much as they may want to come back to you, just may not be ready, and it just may not be the right time for you. So let's see what Spirit has to say, what advice Spirit has to offer to you in terms of moving forward in this connection at this time. Let's take a look. What does Spirit say about it? Time to go. Time to move forward. Time to move on and away from this connection, at least for now. Time to move to something different. Time for things to really shift and, you know, go towards something that you have yet to do before in this connection, right? They say the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again. And we saw in this connection, you know, you guys have kind of been on this merry-go-round before. So it's time to get off and, you know, walk into that foggy uncertainty of, this is what I've never done before. And knowing that, you know, in every lesson there is a blessing, right? We have the blessed card here. I love that it's number 22, double twos, breaks down to 11. That's a master number, ascended masters. That lets me know that this connection, you know, is indeed blessed and protected no matter which way you go. And I love that at the bottom of the deck we have the Fates card. So this lets me know that all of this karmic energy present, no matter how it may feel, it's not for, you know, it's not here to harm you or hurt you. This is just the path. This is the soul contract between you and this person playing out. So paying attention to the lessons being given to you at this time, very, very important, and choosing to see the blessings in them, not spending too much time focusing on, you know, what has happened, what hasn't happened, and now what, you know, can't happen because of what has happened. So making a conscious choice for you right now between this 5 of Cups or 10 of Cups energy is really important. And I feel like in this context, the 10 of Cups is you choosing you. Okay. All right, Aquarius, those are your messages. Thank you so much for tuning into the extended. Hope that offered you some clarity and was helpful in some way. Thank you for tuning in, and I will see you again soon. Peace.